Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Ivan!
What's up, man? What's up?
Yo, Niko United, we back at it again right before the holidays. Guys, if by the time it probably comes up, it's probably going to be Thanksgiving. Just want to say happy holidays to everyone. But it's back, Niko United. I know we've been gone for a hot minute. We're working out some kinks. We're talking, we're debacling. Ivan's got a family. I got a family. Life happens. I got school going on. I can see the stash is gone. What's going on, man? What's going on?
Every now and then you just gotta change things up, right? So we went
Ah.
clean shaven for this epi.
Oh, all right, all right. Well,
We'll see what the comments are saying.
this is true. This is true. Maybe new look, maybe new United. You never know, man. We be spitting and debacling. But,
Yes,
nothing new is coming up. We do got maybe something a little special at the end of the video, so stay tuned. Nothing too crazy. Just your boy, Baron, just, working out the kinks, doing it a little bit. AKA Wing Zero, doing on the track. Maybe, just maybe. But on other news, we are working on that anime channel. I think we were debating maybe Chad just want to give it like a maybe comment what you're thinking here. We got some ideas here. Possibly looking to X Hunter. Just saying, just saying. That sounds like a long commitment, but we willing to do it if you're willing to see it. I think we might also just, to play around with some maybe lower tier episode animes. Maybe like Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Shampoo. Just saying though. But we are back and we are ready to dive into this epi. We were going up against who, Ivan? Who did we play this past weekend?
So we recently played Everton.
What? Why you
And
sounding so sad, man? What's going on? Tell me the news, man.
well,
Tell me the
you
news.
saw the you saw the game, man. It wasn't went too hot, right? Went too hot. We'll get into it though. We'll get into it.
Well, let's just go in, man. Let's just go in. Let's just step into the flames.
Say less. Say
Or it was
less.
already starting bad because we were missing some key players, right? One of the big things that we were looking for is that attack, and unfortunately, Cunha couldn't play, and your boy Sesko couldn't play. So who do they have to bring out? Who they bring out off the bench, out the reserves?
Yeah, so we tried out in the beginning of the game. We tried Diallo on the wing, and then we tried your boy Xerxes up top. And we all knew how it was gonna end up, right? Um, he wasn't terrible, but it's just not what you need, right? In our system, right? He's trying to come deep and almost play as another 10. Um, in this game we did a lot of crossing, and he was on the end of a couple headers, but he's just you don't have the power, you don't have the nuance, the technique for headers, and just didn't really come off, man. So
And I think what was crazy to me now, honestly, like I said, it's the manager's call, right? I mean, we the fans, we're all gonna think it. We're all gonna be like, I think there was a lot of controversy because of what happened right early in the game, right? We all thought maybe, oh, dude, deja vu, a little twiddle dwee, with the red card out of the blue. Wasn't really out of the blue, but it was kind of weird because players argue like their own teammates, so you didn't really expect it. Um, but yeah, Everton goes down a man like what 10 minutes in, not even. Uh,
yeah.
Yet I don't know what I don't. I mean, you're the tactic man. What happened? Well, you tell us, man.
Well,
What
there's
happened?
no there's no there's no tactics to be discussed there, man. It was bizarre, mainly because watching it live, you didn't even see what happened. You see the replay kind of happen, and then by the time it zooms out of the replay, you see the ref with the red card in the air, and you're like, wait a minute, what's going on? And then yeah, finally when they show what happened, what's his name? Gueye, I guess just got in an argument with his center back. I believe it was Keane. and Keane just kind of pushes him because Gueye, they kind of went head to head. Keane pushes him, back, and Gueye, he's like, hell no, you ain't touching me like that, and he just smacked the shit out of him,
and
Will Smith style, just bah.
and
Yeah, man.
we don't condone violence, but I think it's just kind of like, I don't know. It was just more of like the day, like your own players. Just, I don't know. You can't. You would think, I don't know. It would be something discussed later on. I didn't actually think it was going to transition on the pitch. Um,
Yeah.
Now, of course, I think more of like the one thing that, like I said, they got that red card, and I think because of like our formation, it's really more like defensively, because technically it's five in the back, right? Which is your wing backs. I mean, I'm pretty sure a lot of fans. Now, I personally, I thought he was never going to change it, so I don't know why anyone would even think so. But I get why you would think it would probably be best to put more people up, especially with them down a man. But I mean, we didn't even have like options like that to even, take advantage. Like I said, we had Mazraoui on the right, and then you had Dorgu, who was like iffy. I don't know what was happening in that game, man. I honestly, I think it was just like, it just was not meant to be. It was just, if you look at the stats, you would have thought, oh, dude, Man United, they were clear a shoe on for the victory, but Everton just held out as much as they could, and I think a lot of it comes down to, and like I think we were talking earlier before this actual recording, that dude, it was just more of like they just weren't linking up. We were giving away the ball too easily. Freaking Mbuemo, I swear, I think he lost the ball, but than anyone out on the pitch. I was like, dang. And then he would be like scuffling in some of his shots, and I was just like now we're just forcing it, and it was kind of like hard to see, because I know like Bruno, he had some decent shots from midfield that, like, I mean, if they would have just dipped perfectly, right? Like I said, I felt like it was not meant to be. If it would have just did his little thing, I mean, it would have been a different story. But it just that we could not get that one goal in, and that probably is what like the momentum shifted. I kind of want to get your opinion. I personally, I think I saw like bits of the first half, which didn't look too hot, and then I only caught like the end of the second half.
Yeah, so I mean, you're pretty spot on, right? It was the aura around the game, even after the red card, was kind of like, are we really gonna win this, right? Like the players, especially in the first, or especially before Everton scored, there was kind of just no urgency, right? Like we were just kind of a little too comfortable passing the ball side to side. Even in transition, right? It was just kind of it was kind of we were in first gear until they scored. And in this league, right? If you're not really up for it since the first minute, and you allow a team to get a goal up or whatnot, you're not going to win games that way, right? Teams are very, very comfortable once they snatch a goal. This league, people love to just park the bus, right? And they're good at it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it was just one of those games where even when we scored the goal, or even when we got the red card, it didn't really, like you said, maybe not a formation thing, but definitely a personnel thing, right? It's been spoken many times that with the way we're set up, five at the back, wing backs pushing up high, attacking three, up top, it it favors a little more space, right? Especially when you think of players like Mbuemo, um, they like that open space. So moment Everton got that goal, and they kind of just sat back. It was hard for us to really be dangerous, right? Beyond Bruno and half the team's long shots, right? There wasn't much we could do. We put in plenty of crosses, but we're just not good at crashing the box, and committing players into the box. Half the times we put in crosses, there'd be like two people in there. You know what I mean? Which, when they're down to 10 men, it's like, what's the risk? Like, just go for it. Wing backs, even one midfielder at least like just crash the box, and we just didn't do that. And you have Xerxes up there trying to be a target man, and that's just not his game. Even though he is 6'4", that's just really not what he's there for. He got at the end of a couple crosses, but he's not he's not a Chicharito or a Holland who's gonna pinpoint them headers in a corner or generate crazy power and beat a keeper. So it's really how the game went, to be honest.
Yeah, I just felt like, I mean, how we used Xerxes in that game was more like, when we used Fellaini, right? It was more of just like those desperation crosses because we didn't have Maguire and stuff. Um, and I think,
Oh man, Maguire would have been crazy in this game. That would have been perfect. Just put him striker and just leave him up there.
and I think that those are like, it kind of like it's like a slap in the face though, right? Because I mean, that shouldn't be like our game style. Like, you could see that we were missing that Cunha, right? That little extra flair. Diallo was doing a little bit of work on his side, kind of breaking in. He was just unfortunate not to hit the target most of the time. But dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, oh my goodness, Dorgu, I have no clue what is going on, man. Like, I know
Yeah,
he's just
I'm not gonna lie. He's not. He
the
ain't really been it this year, and it's weird because last year, bro, he looked so promising.
I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's like maybe like the pressure. Like, you're right. Like, we're not these players, right? Unfortunately, like, we have this like talk every time, right? Like, oh, dude, he's still young. He's got to work on some of his plays, but like the thing is, like, dude, Everton, like these games that we need him to kind of like step up,
Hmm.
especially because he's been riding the bench a couple of times because of his performance. Like, you would think he would at least perform like a little bit better, but like him and Shaw, man, like I don't know when they're together, like Shaw just drops in like ratings like just a couple notches because I don't know if he's stressed out because of how Dorgu's playing, because
Yeah.
those two were like deers in the headlight in that game, and honestly, like I would say, like the whole back line, like yes, they only scored one goal, but like they all had an average performance. Like it was not like what we needed. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, like
Yeah, I would agree offensively because we had so much of the ball. They didn't really do too much in that aspect, and but I mean, none of the defenders were really crazy. Like they didn't really create any threats the whole game. Like that one little moment where what was was it Drewsby Hall, I believe, kind of just beat a man, and then Euro kind of did a you know half tackle, and he just put in the upper 90. That was really it the whole game. There was really no other moment where they were like threatening us,
well,
you
I
know?
mean, but the thing about it, they were down a man, so they
Yeah,
are.
yeah. No, I know. I'm just
So
saying,
that's why I said
like,
like so I mean that's why I said like the defense I can't, like it was just I felt like I don't know, kind of like when Euro pushes up, right? You need sometimes to drive up because you to open up space.
yeah,
I feel like you have to utilize like every player, right? That's why I think a Martinez would have been perfect to have on that pitch for sure.
exactly,
Um,
exactly.
that's why I said like the wingbacks just weren't doing. Merzwowi, dude, did you see him the first half? I didn't see him. I just thought it. I was like, oh my. It just I don't know, dude.
He's not built for wingback positions, man.
He's
He's not.
not.
He's a traditional right back, or he can be a third center back and be pretty good. But
Yep.
yeah, that wingback is not for him.
Yeah, unless you're playing him like second half, like to keep up, like after these players retire. Yeah, he is not meant for that role, man. It's just I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but dude, then it just comes down to the same issue, man. And I know fans and viewers, you're gonna keep hating us for saying it, dude. That midfield is just a hit or a miss, and it is just like so annoying to watch because it's like, dude, Bruno and like Casemiro, please. I need like you're our only like real first options. Like it is so sad, but like, dude, they just like I said, other than Bruno, yeah, putting in like a lot of like second work, like running back and forth. I just think he had a lackluster game, like but it's just more because of the position that he needs to be playing, and I think it just like it's just mind boggling because we'll either they'll be so great or they'll be so poor, man. It's just they don't have an average game. Is that fair to say? Like they just have like an average game. Like can they just have one of those? It's just so hard, man. It is just so hard.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I mean, I wouldn't go too crazy in the midfield just because there wasn't really much for them to do, right? Considering everything was down, man, the whole game, and they kind of just sat back, right? Obviously, especially with being a goal up. So I don't have too much complaints. I mean, Bruno did get some shots off. He kept the play moving around. He progressed us forward. Um, really, man, it's just for me, it's like the game plan. Once they went down a man, I don't think we executed it properly, or I don't think we had the proper game plan to attack that new situation. Right?
But is that a manager issue though?
It's gotta be. It's
Cause
gotta be a manager
but
situation. That has to be a manager situation. Like we can try to continue to play our method, right? But you have to recognize, okay, they're down to 10 men, so you're not going to be afforded the space, which is obvious, right? How is that going to affect the players you have on the pitch? Okay, we have Xerxes, who, I mean, he's going to try and be a false nine, which if a team's, pinned back, you don't need him to do that. You need him to be in the box, be in the dangerous areas, and be ready to kind of be on the end of anything, right? So that's the first thing. So he shouldn't even been playing. He should have subbed them out as early as possible after that, right? And the second thing is you have Mazraoui, who's not really going to be putting in crosses like he should or pushing up forward. So why is he on the pitch, right? Like we should have subbed him off immediately. Um, and then even the left back situation. I mean, Dorgu wasn't really doing it. But the only thing I could think that maybe he should have done instead of putting Dalot there, because putting Dalot there makes no sense, man. Every time he got the ball out wide, and you're wanting him to like stretch the pitch and go down the line or something, he just cuts back, and like half the time he wouldn't even cross, because he would cut back so slowly, he'd end up having to lay it back to Shaw, and then Shaw, the guy would just walk up to him and he give it back to fucking Dalot, and Dalot does the same thing, goes down and cuts back. And man, we really needed low key. He should just put Shaw on wing back and say, Shaw, look, you don't got to do too much run up and down. All right, the three center backs will take care of it because they're not gonna commit any players forward. You stay on this flank and use your magical left foot to put these crazy crosses in. That's what he should have tried, in my opinion, right? Because Dorgu can't do it, and again, you're putting right-footed Dalot up there to fucking waste space, just to cut back over and over again and do nothing. So I think honestly, I think it was a tactical thing in my opinion, right? That kind of sold us. Being down to 10 men, it should be to where it don't matter what tactics you do, you should be able to score because you have a man advantage, right? In soccer, that's so OP. Like if you do keep away drill, if it's 5 versus 4, good luck to the 4 players. You're gonna it's gonna be impossible. So, on the pitch, it really shouldn't have mattered what we did. But I mean, some sort of bravery, some sort of risk, some sort of change definitely would have helped. Because I mean, what we had wasn't doing it. The best
yeah.
decision he made was bringing Diallo back at wing back, because that's when we started cooking something, right? But yeah, Amorin, he's got to take a little more risks in those situations, I think.
And I think that's what I said. I don't know if it's because we don't have like really like options like that to even like utilize like a 10 man advantage, right? Like the only thing that I thought, which I felt like in my mind, and I told you before we started this recording, was I don't know why he didn't start Mount. I like I think that second half, dude, like every time Mount laid it off, which is what you should be doing, because like at the end of the day, these if you're up a man, these people are tracking back trying to catch up. All you do is you know send the back in the penalty area. Bruno had like some nice open chances like that, but I think we've only utilized that like twice. I've never seen that on the right side. It was usually only on that left. So I'm like I don't know where the I don't even know what you call it, but like the variety is coming in. Like like you said, right? It was usually just whip crosses, and I'm like, yes, that works sometimes, but like, dude, sometimes, and I think I remember the law did it, and I told you I was shocked that he even did that. Was when you do a low driven ball because all the defenders are rushing back, and you get it in the box area. The only thing is, yeah, I think, and you mentioned it earlier, we only have like two people in there, which is crazy because the amount of players that we have in the midfield and stuff. And now I get it. Like if you have Casemiro, you don't want to be utilizing both of them because Casemiro ain't coming back. Then that's basically our issue,
Yeah.
and that's like I think our one concern about like you were talking about like the 10-man advantage. In my mind, I would have been like, dude, let's overload that box. But like we don't have players like that. You had, like I said, Dorgu who is a slightly attacking wingback, but then you have Mizraoui who's a little bit slower. So I don't think he would even want to do that because then this man's tracking back like an old man. And no offense to that guy, he's probably a lot faster than me because all these store thoughts that I've been eating. But I'm just saying. But overall, I mean, yeah, the lack of of them was just it killed the whole momentum, bro. Like the from that first bit from the red card to their goal, I swear Everton was the one that looked like they had 11 and we had 10. We just did not step up, and that's the problem. We have to always take the first chance. And I don't know if it's because we didn't have Cunha, who's usually our heavy driver, like that goes in. Because I'm not gonna lie, man. That was I just felt like it was so lackluster, man. Like it just felt like after they scored, yeah, we wanted to do something, but dude, you know how it goes in football, man. Like if you're down a goal, like it's so hard. I mean, if unless you have like a strong team, which let's be granted, like we have like maybe like a 7 out of 10 team. I would say like there's still some key like components missing. I knew we weren't probably gonna catch up unless we had like I don't know. When I seen Xerxes up there, I just knew we weren't scoring, man. At least not with that guy. Not with that guy.
Well, I agree with what you were saying earlier, right? Like we miss a few key players, and it's kind of just. I mean, there's just no real inspiration, right? There's no hope to actually continue playing the way we've been playing this season, and that's the unfortunate reality. Like, for example, when we have Diallo on the wing back, and we have Cunha on the other side, and then we got Mbuemo over here, you have a lot of attacking threat that elevates everybody. It creates space for everybody, right? Whatever striker we're playing, what other wing back, Bruno in the midfield, it just creates space because teams can't really shift to one side and overcommit, right? Because you got Cunha on the other wing, you don't want to leave him wide, right? He'll get the ball, and you got 3 or 4 players just rushing to him because they know, he's gonna force the issue and he's gonna dribble at least one man and get in a good area, a dangerous area. Um, but then we recycle the ball, and then time and time again this season we see Diallo wide open because of that, right? Because they have no choice to shift over, get Cunha, they shuffle it, we ping it over, and then Diallo's freaking wide open, and him and Mbuemo are doing crazy runs with each other, and boom, we already created a chance. So when we're missing one of those guys, Cunha, and now Diallo's on that side, and then Mbuemo's over here trying to kind of make things happen with Mazraoui, we don't have the squad depth, man. That's just really what it is. Like we lose all that dynamism that our starting 11, our true starting 11 has. It just really shows that like we need to sign players. We need to keep signing players.
Yeah, and
You
that's
know.
and that's and that's very crucial. Now, do you think that international break kind of played like an influence in what
Oh,
happened?
100%, man. Oh man, don't even get me started. I'm glad you brought that up. I despise international breaks. Like genuinely. Like why can't we do World Cup qualifiers like in the summer or something for a month? You know what I mean? Because they only play probably like 8 games or something a year. Like why can't you do that in a quick month? You know what I mean? Or something. Like it throws off the whole momentum, dude. Like I remember, I don't want to act like I played some high level soccer or whatever,
He
but
did, guys. That's why he knows all the tactics.
no, 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 no. But
Man,
when
you
I played
academy.
when I played club soccer, right? When I went to a certain team with a certain coach who was extremely strict, but with good reason, because he produced players that went to Germany, and played in Bundesliga. Well, one guy. I don't say players. It was one guy, and he produced plenty of other players that went Division One soccer. Right? He did not allow you to play high school soccer, and we all thought, oh my God, this guy's just too strict. This guy's, a buzzkill. He just doesn't want us to have fun, enjoy ourselves. But the one year he let us play, oh my God. Every time we went and played like a tournament for our high school team and we came back, bro, it's like we never played with each other. It's like we're all, we all go off to high school and we have different positions and roles and we play a different style. When we come back, it's hard to shake off those habits you just developed for the last couple weeks, you know? So, yeah, this whole international break, man, it's robbing us at least. Well, every international break robs us at least one game afterwards because it's not going to be the same. It's not going to be the same silkiness, the same chemistry. It's just not. So yeah, that I hate it so much.
Yeah, and I mean it definitely did. Yeah, I mean you could see it, right? It like how the gameplay went. I mean the good thing is I think the who do we play next? It's nothing like it's not like a crazy game. So like at least it's not gonna be like a big like impact in our like games going forward.
Yeah,
So that's like at least like grace. Of course, the 3 points were like kind of were crucial. I mean, but like I said, we weren't expecting to win the title, so don't be like, oh my God, it's all over. Like, no, we were at least looking to get like top four or at least like a tournament, into Europe, next season. That's really the goal. Like that's reality. If we were to win title, then jeez, that's a miracle right there. I'm just, but yeah, that's literally what we were looking for. It's nothing. We weren't thinking of winning the title or nothing like that. And I think it wasn't awful because our main opponents also took big L's too. So it's not like it like set us back. Like yeah, it would have helped us move forward, but it's not like a crazy setback either. So I mean, overall, not the best game. Of course, we ended up losing 1-0. Like I said, it's better than like getting like crushed because, like I said, it is soul crushing because it's only by one goal type of thing, and they were down a man. I know all the haters are gonna come at us and be like, "You guys lost to a Everton 10 man." Man, dude, it don't matter, man. I think I seen Barcelona lose their freaking game too. I don't want to be hassling on all the other players, but I'm just saying, Mito, you guys gotta chill out, chill out. This is where you start hating on our players. No, 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 no. Like I said, yes, they all can have a bad game. That happens, I wish I could tell Ivan, dude, man, I was the best every season. Shoot, I think I was the bench warmer every season. That's what happened for me. But on real talk, like I said, yes, am I disappointed that we lost? 100%. But am I like is it over for us? I don't think so. I think it's just more of a reality check. Like, hey, dude, like we gotta be utilizing all these games that we are playing these lower teams that because clearly we show it. We beat some of the higher teams, and people are gonna say, "Oh, Chelsea, they had the red card." It don't matter. Look, technically, look, you can clearly see it didn't matter because we lost to Everton, right? Supposedly, but hey, that's just me. But yeah, at the end of the day, that's what happened. I think who do we play next, Ivan? Who's the next one?
Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace. Ooh, that one might be I would love to
Yeah.
see us win 2-0 on that one, but that's gonna be hopefully the
It'll be
boys are
tough
back.
'cause they play the same formation as us, so it'll be the battle of the 5-2-3. 5-2-3.
Yeah, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see. We'll kick out the edges, and hopefully our players will be back. I think the only one that has like a serious injury is what Sesko and Maguire. I think right.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, so they'll be out for sure.
yeah, they'll be out a little bit longer. So, but like I said, I mean, if Cunha comes back, we could probably slot him up, Mount again. Do our little thing. That kind of
Yeah.
works out. Um, from what you did, watch from the game, what's 5 things you took away? Or maybe if you have more than five, let me know what you got.
Yeah, not really. But one thing we took away definitely, like I already mentioned, Amarin's got to be a little more brave when it comes to making quick changes. When the game situation changes, red card, goal, down a goal, injuries, whatever. He's definitely got to be more brave in his decisions and be a little more creative. It's easy when you have like for like replacements on the bench, like Arsenal or these teams that have been building their squads for a long time. But in our situation, you got to be a lot more creative. That's just what it is, right? Um, Another thing we learned is, I didn't really mention it, but Euro is kind of starting to have a little more hit or miss performances. I don't want to dog on him or nothing or put no pressure, right? Like he's had plenty of good performances, especially for the age. We forget Homeboy is 19, right? Like he is crazy young. But, it's something to kind of, pump the brakes on him and, kind of just remember that he is young and he does need time to develop and kind of iron out the kinks, right? Um, but he'll be fine. Another thing we learned, I would say, is, the impact and sort of how much we miss a player like Cunha, especially in those type of games, right? Where teams sit back. He is so important for us, so it's so crucial to get him back. I believe the injury wasn't anything severe. I think it was like a head injury that they were just being precautious about that happened in training. So it'd be great to have him back, but we definitely missed him. Um, Another thing we learned was just that there's still that sort of uneasiness and that unfortunately common trait that this team has had for the last couple of years. It showed again in that game. Like again, even being down a man, there was sort of just no urgency. We were just kind of being lackadaisical. And Amron even mentioned it in his post match interview that he was just kind of afraid of this turning into last season. Like Homeboy even has his own PTSD. So that PTSD that team has as well is something we really need to iron out. Like I don't know what we could do. I don't know if we hire a psychologist or what, and just have them kind of just talk to the players and look, man, like what is the number 70? How does that make you feel? Stuff like that. I don't know, but that's got to be addressed, man. We can't keep doing this inconsistent, performances. Um, but that's one. Are we on number 4 or 5 now?
Five, bro. You're on five now.
Okay, I was gonna say, I'm running out of ideas. What's left? Uh, One last thing we learned, I guess, could be that we need a new striker, man. We need another backup striker, right? I don't know if that's Cheeto, Obi coming through the ranks. He is still relatively young. I believe he's still 17. Um, or you know, do we offload Xerxes in January, right? Like he apparently is ready to go, right? He recognizes his role isn't really what he wants to be here, and we got Holland probably gonna cash in on him, right? He's doing pretty hot at Napoli, so we get that money back. Do we splash on another decent youngster, or where do we go? Do we sign a proven guy? Like, but we need somebody, right? Because when Sesko's not there, our whole game plan changes, unfortunately, right?
It does, right? And I mean, I think that's like I mean, hopefully we make it through this like break here coming through because we're almost at that transfer window, right? Do you think we're gonna sign anybody for that January? That'll be for maybe next stream, because but I think that's like that one key thing, right? Like who do you sign? Like what's priority? What's not priority? At the end of the day,
Mm.
right? Like we said, one of the main things is going to be the attack. I mean, yes, we made three big signings, but they're primarily the main three. We don't really have backups like that. Mount can cover up Cunha. That's about it. I mean, like I said, you don't really have no one to fill in for Sesko because you clearly just saw Xerxes up there. And I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think there was also talk in the mist that him, Mainu, they're probably gonna be out in January. So I think, yeah, we do have to find some other, people to kind of fill in those roles. I personally don't know anybody. I have not heard nothing. I have not watched anybody who needs to be, loaned out or we can buy for cheapsies because I don't think we have the facilities to afford something, over a
Yeah.
hundred or maybe even 50. But um, comment, if you know anyone, like pick your three who you think. Of course, don't be throwing out some, old men because we don't need those type of people. I mean, it depends. I mean, if we just need it for like a half a season to kind of survive for maybe I'll take it. But yeah,
Take it. We'll take it.
yeah. So we'll see. I mean, at the end of the day, those were the top things that I haven't seen. Remember, he is the guy. He's the insider. He knows the ins and outs. He's been
You gotta
whispering in
stop saying that. You
he's
gotta
been
stop
whispering
lying to these
he's
people.
been whispering in Amarin's ear. So hopefully Amarin's been listening in and chiming in. Um, Foot Mob, like I said, if you're willing to sponsor us, we'll put you back in the rating channel. Just as a
I'll
show of
put you back in.
again, yeah, we'll get you back in. We'll get you back in. Um, but other than that, I mean, we took a L. That's what happened. Of course, it's sad. But hopefully, we'll bring it back. We'll bring up the comeback. So, and like I said, just be on the lookout. We got that anime channel coming in. Like I said, we're gonna try to get back in the rhythm of posting up these channels. Like I said, school's almost done for me, so I'll probably be able to pick up a little bit more on my end because I've been slacking. I'm sorry, viewers. We did hit, and I know this is a small milestone. We hit 10 subscribers. That is
Let's
actually
go.
that's crazy. Okay, think about it. Just two guys just yapping. So I'm proud of everyone who's supporting the channel. Like I said, if you support United and you're supporting us all the way, right? That's basically what it is. So I appreciate everyone again for chiming in. If you have any suggestions, any kind of feedback, hit the subscribe button. If you're liking the content, hit that like button. Like I said, be on the lookout. We're gonna try to post some stuff on the TikTok. Like I said, I am pushing a lot on Ivan, but Ivan knows his role. I gave him the supplies and the demand, so now he's just gonna have to produce. On that note, but like I said, just be on the lookout for that anime channel. Hopefully, we'll get that started. If you guys have any suggestions or anything that you want for that channel, let us know. We might implement it. Like I said, it's just gonna be kind of like a rough draft. We're gonna just kind of go with the motion, kind of like this channel. So I appreciate it. I do stream on Twitch when we're streaming Arc Raiders. Ivan's actually the best at that game. He's probably top 10 in the world. He's better than that peanut guy. So that's all I'm going to tell you. But,
I'm not. Don't lie to these guys.
but this has been your boy David.
And your boy Ivan.
And thank you for watching Niko United. We're signing off.
See ya.